A Chinese commercial rocket company has successfully launched and safely landed a test article on its path to developing a reusable launch vehicle. On November 2, 2023, in Inner Mongolia's desert, something remarkable is happening. At Launchpad 120, Hyperbola II's single-stage rocket is ready for action. With its grid fins, landing legs, and Chinese flag logo, the rocket aims to achieve a vertical takeoff and landing, inspired by SpaceX. Powered by a powerful methalox-fueled engine, the rocket ignites, reaching an altitude of 178 meters, before descending back to the launch pad with precision. The flawless landing, just 2 meters away from liftoff, showcases Hyperbola II's engineering prowess and marks a significant milestone in their pursuit of reusability. This event in the Gobi Desert is a testament to human ingenuity and progress, leaving the world eagerly anticipating the next chapter in space exploration. Interstellar Glory's Hyperbola II achieves yet another milestone on December 9, as it flawlessly completes its second hopper flight, soaring to a height of 343 meters before gracefully touching down. This remarkable test flight not only demonstrates the precision of the spacecraft's landing capabilities, but also provides invaluable data for the future development of the Hyperbola III rocket. What you witnessed earlier is China's latest and undoubtedly their most significant step towards achieving rocket reusability, much like SpaceX. It is truly remarkable when compared to other Chinese recovery advancements. While other Chinese commercial companies have been exploring this path as well, their progress has been limited to performing low-altitude hops. With small-scale single-stage prototype, equipped with low-thrust engines that are not suitable for orbital rocket launches. In some cases, they have even resorted to using jet engines. On the contrary, let's delve into the specifics of ISpace Hyperbola II rocket. The Hyperbola II is an important step towards the future of rocket technology. It serves as the initial stage of a future rocket, known as the Hyperbola II. This rocket is a reusable two-stage liquid-fueled medium-lift launch vehicle. It utilizes 9 of ISpace's in-house developed methalox engines, which are highly advanced. The company behind this rocket is committed to reusability, as evidenced by their extensive design and testing of grid fins, landing legs, and the Jan-1 engines. These engines are designed to be throttled and restartable, making them ideal for rocket recovery. The next milestone for ISpace is to perform a 1 km and 10 km altitude hop, showcasing the capabilities of the Hyperbola II. Initially, there were plans to launch the Hyperbola II in 2024, making it the first non-SpaceX reusable orbital rocket in the world. However, ISpace recently announced a change in plans. The Hyperbola II will now be used solely as a technology verification tool to learn how to recover rockets. Instead, ISpace will focus on developing a larger rocket, the Hyperbola III. You may wonder why ISpace made this decision. The challenges faced by the Hyperbola II played a significant role. With a payload capacity of only 2 tons to lower orbit, it would have faced tough competition from Chinese commercial solid-field rockets already in service. Rockets like the Galang 3, Kuo 11, and Kinetica 1, as well as smaller solid-field rockets catering to the market, of fast-response dedicated small-set missions, would have posed a formidable challenge. Therefore, ISpace decided to shift their focus to the development of the Hyperbola III, a larger and more capable rocket. However, the Hyperbola II faces tough competition from other liquid fuel rockets, such as Space Pioneer, Galactic Energy, and Land Space. These competitors are also vying for the opportunity to deploy large-scale constellations into low Earth orbits. Unfortunately, the Hyperbola II is at a disadvantage in this regard. Let me explain why. One crucial factor is the Chinese Starlink program, known as Guowang, which is highly sought after by Chinese launch companies. Its main objective is to deploy the Guang Mega constellation, China's equivalent of Starlink. It has been revealed that Chinese commercial launch companies will have the chance to launch some of the 12,000 satellites that make up this constellation. Former chief engineer of the Long March rockets, Long Lao, hinted at this in early 2023. Moreover, several Chinese commercial launch companies have explicitly marketed their liquid fuel launch vehicles as ideal for deploying large satellite internet constellations. Even Orion Space's Koyo Buang mentioned that the government has requested commercial companies to have a rocket ready by 2025. with a significant payload capacity to orbit. Now, let's dwell on this expression for a moment. Among Chinese companies, who can achieve this significant payload capacity to orbit by 2025? Unfortunately, the Hyperbola II falls short in this aspect, as it is limited to a payload capacity of only 2 tons to orbit. This means that launching satellite internet satellites in groups of 3 or 4 would be necessary, resulting in thousands of launches for a mega constellation like Starlink or Guang. On the other hand, competitors such as Space Pioneer, Galactic Energy, LandSpace, and RyanSpace have rockets with higher payload ranges. These companies are rolling out their rockets either in 2024 or 2025, making them better positioned to meet the demand for significant payload capacity to orbit. ISpace is now aiming to take a leap forward by developing a more powerful rocket, the Hyperbola III. This move is driven by the potential for significant revenue in the commercial launch sector. However, it won't be an easy task for ISpace. While they have achieved a major milestone with the vertical landing of the Hyperbola II, developing a heavy-lift rocket requires substantial financial investment and time. Although ISpace has made progress with their next-generation engine, to add to the challenge, ISpace's last round of funding was in August 2020, almost 3.5 years ago. This means they will likely need to secure additional funding. Unlike their competitors, such as LandSpace, Space Pioneer, and Galactic Energy, ISpace lacks a reliable smaller lift rocket that can generate revenue in the meantime. While they do have the Hyperbola I, a small lift rocket, its track record has been questionable, with multiple failures caused by different reasons. In summary, we can expect further advancements in Chinese reusable rocket technology in the next 12 to 18 months, with ISpace leading the way. However, in my opinion, the race is not solely about reusability, but also about which company can develop a capable medium-lift launch vehicle early enough to meet the upcoming demand for constellation deployment launches. The Chinese commercial launch industry has transitioned from numerous companies with PowerPoint rockets to a select few serious projects. It will be to see which companies thrive, which ones merely survive, and which ones pivot away from the industry entirely in the next 2 years. Another competitor, Space Pioneer, is planning to launch its Tianlong 3 rocket in the first half of 2024. The rocket will be comparable to Falcon 9 in launch capability and eventually to be made reusable. LandSpace's methalox-fueled II is also expected to be converted for reusability. China opened up its space sector to private and commercial activity in 2014. This is seen as largely in reaction to the explosion of commercial space in the US. The central government has since implemented policies and published guidance to support the development of commercial space. 2023 has been a notable year for China's commercial launch companies. CAS Space, Galactic Energy, ISpace, Xspace, Space Pioneer and LandSpace have all reached orbit. These include first Chinese commercial liquid propellant launch successes, achieved by Space Pioneer and LandSpace. The Tiangong space station is expected to provide an opportunity for commercial launch vehicles to gain contracts to deliver cargo. The National Guowang LEO broadband megaconstellation is also expected to provide opportunities for commercial actors. That's it for today's episode. We hope you enjoyed it and learned something new. Please let us know what you think in the comments section down below. Your feedback is very important to us, because it helps us make better videos for you, so thank you very much and we hope to see you again next time.